Heyo everybody, it's Johnny5 Alive, and I am joined with Batch!
Salut zusammen, and welcome to our podcast.
That's right, we're doing another Project Planko podcast speed build. What you're seeing here, the background footage, is Batch doing Batch stuff, taking little bits of pieces. What speed are we at here?
10 times. So the whole video is this time only 10 times. I mean, the last video was up to 20 times in between. It was way too fast. This time it's not that fast, but it's also not... I didn't record everything. So I didn't record how I modified the Asian area, the Japanese area, the Italian area. I'm sorry for that. That was just after the recordings we did for the first podcast, let's call it that. And I did not think about to do another one. And then Johnny said, we maybe should. And okay, I start recording again. And that was here with the French area.
Well,
when I
based off of what people said in the last one that we did, they liked seeing you do the speed builds. So it gives us an ample opportunity to do it again, and you know, showing any behind the scenes, any bit of the process of what goes into this park. People want to see it, so I think it's best to show that. Rather, we don't want to take that away from them, but it also works out for us because we're a little bit low on content.
yeah, just a little bit.
So I did get the shooting ride back. Is that on the list there to talk about? No. So it's a good opportunity
but we
to
can
talk.
edit.
Yeah, so
Exactly. Let's talk about it.
it was AKA Superman Tenzo's X-Wing and Starship Rad. They were piecing together for the last, I want to say, couple months. Some blueprints for the Miss Alley shooting ride, and they went a little bit crazy with it and built this massive area. And then we gave them the park for a couple weeks and said, like, we need to get this going, and they got it back to us. So I now have the Project Planko Miss Alley Shooting Ride Edition in my hands. Well, I can show that off. We're going to save that for next week and then do this for this week. But other than this video here today and Miss Alley's Shooting Ride, we don't have anything. So... what I have in store is, I guess we have the Boogie stage presentation. So I'm going to probably squeeze that one in for the following week after Miss Alley's shooting ride. And then we're going to hope by then it would be October 25th, the start of a Halloween, I guess, Halloween week. And I know some people would love to see some Halloween rides and coasters and parks for that week. So I'm hoping to do that. But to start off the week, why not make Project Planko Halloween edition? So Chant is going to do her darndest to get King Ghoster's Dark Carnival ready for us for October 25th, the Wednesday, so that we can kick off the Halloween week with a Project Planko Halloween video.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that would be very fitting, and it would give us another episode. Now, between this, the Alley's shooting ride, the presentation for the concert, and then the King Ghoster ride, that gives us basically like 3 weeks to get plots and get the community building. So Batch is going to do his amazing plot designing again. I'm going to help sit down with you, and we're going to figure that out. Hopefully, I don't know, we could probably do it on the latest version and blueprint it. How would you want to do that? I guess we could talk about it here.
So for the plots, my plan was, okay, we have the latest park file, of course, because we have to do the layout, we have to do all the fine-tunings, etc., etc. And for the plots itself, to share it with the community, my idea was to delete the town and share this file then. So we have just the plots in we need, and a little bit of foliage and stuff, and whatever we need for the plots that the people can build in this park file. So this park file was 100,000 pieces less, so everybody should be able to open it and work in this file, so they can build the blueprints. An alternative would be maybe to have each plot as a separate blueprint, but that's too much in my opinion.
What do you mean?
I did it for the contest. So I do a blueprint of the plot size. I did this for the last contest, so I did the blueprint.
Oh, and you can
plot
download the blueprint.
And exactly, but for so many plots that we expect, it would be too much. So I think a reduced park file that everybody can open and build in there, where just so you have some vocal points in there where you can orientate, etc., etc. So that's the idea to get the plots shared. And the next thing is how we share the plots in Discord and stuff, because you had the idea with the raffle, etc. So that's also something we have not yet 100% discussed how we can do that and which plot goes where and whatever.
Yeah, so I think that's a great idea, Batch. Giving everybody a reduced park size, basically deleting all of the stuff except for the terrain, and then maybe like a few major decorations or focal points around that area, so you can see how your plot is going to fit in. Now, obviously, we won't have the King Ghoster area done, but I'm figuring sometime this week or even after this recording, we could sit down and kind of come up with some ideas for the plots, and we can just save them as blueprints and then put them into the final version that we get from Chant, maybe.
No. I'm against it, because for the simple reason we have to do the passing and the layouts, and do a passing in the second park file exact the same way as you did in the first is unlikely, to say it. You know what I mean?
No,
because
I do not.
The layout includes you have to do the parts at the passing, etc. So the blueprints will fit to the passes.
Oh, the path.
Example, just as an example. So yeah, I think so. In my opinion, we need the final file where King Ghoster is in.
So that does create some problems, but I was thinking we could at least jot them down. I think we can at least get the general blocks down without the paths.
Yeah, but it's then not so exact.
Not so exact, but at least.
And we have to do passes afterwards. I don't like this idea.
No, I think even just it's when we originally did this project, we kind of plotted out how we would like the plots and an estimate.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to do so that we know exactly how many we're going to have. Just how many we're going to have in each area, where they're going to be roughly, and then we can select them all, group them, save them as a blueprint, plop them down when we get it from Chant, and then detail them in. Yeah. Because if we...
Yeah, roughly. We can do it roughly, yeah.
Well, we have to, because here's the thing, is when we get it back from Chant, then the Chant's video goes live, then...
I saw Chant will be done maybe in a week or so, because she has it now for 2 weeks already? On and off, I don't know.
Oh, she's been very busy. She got a second job, and then she has a second job project.
Okay.
So I don't know how much she's done, and then I think we talked this weekend, and she said like she just finally was able to get in and get something done, but she's only had like a few hours or so on it, so I wouldn't.
Okay, that hits a little bit the timelines I had in my mind.
Yeah, okay. So this is my point, is if we're pre-planning everything and getting it all jotted out, at least we can have some sort of like screenshot presentation, or like we can block it out, get a visual.
We can think about for example, we take the Tiki and Gulpy coaster or Dark Ride or whatever we want to do there, where we place it, how big it will be, etc. So all this stuff we can do. It's just not final in the park, but we have a rough idea, and then it's pretty easy to do it as soon as we get the file.
Yeah, because we don't want to hem and haw and change our mind on the week that we get it from Chant, because that we will have basically my biggest concern, and just so everybody can understand where we're at, we want a Project Planko video the week after Halloween, where King Ghoster goes live, so that would be like November something, and that would be the first creations that the community has made going into the park. But in order to have everybody submit something, the plots need to be live, the park needs to be live. And if we're doing all that the week that we're featuring Chance Creation, it's going to be we might be missing a Project Planko video for a week or two. So if we get started now, and then when we get it from chat, we finalize it real quick, and all the plots or the forms are ready, the raffles ready, and all that, then we could just launch it, go live, and according to how things went the first time around with the first 85 plots or whatever, people were submitting stuff within the first few days. If that happens again, and we get at least like 5, I can make a video of those, and then the week after the Halloween one, we have 5 fantasy plots to put down or something. And I would like to do the videos by category. So it's like, today we're putting in some fantasy blueprints, tomorrow we're putting in some sci-fi blueprints. And then everything will start to pan out. It's a little bit of a squishy timeline, but in terms of content, we have the speed build, we have the shooting ride, then the presentation of the show, and Chance Ride, and there's nothing to do after that other than the community. The community gets to go crazy on theming all of the areas in the world, unless we can get somebody to build a coaster between now and then, like a Gulpy or Tiki coaster that we place down. But that would be like a plan B, like who wants to do this kind of thing just to buy some time.
Yeah, that's something we have not yet really discussed. I mean, want this, but maybe it could also be a dark ride.
What?
Would also be, Tiki or Gulpy.
No,
we need at least, could be just an idea. So that's what I mean. We have not yet discussed it. I don't think we want to do it here, but that's the thing I mean. We don't know yet exactly how we do the Tiki and Gulpy.
I think Gulpy should be like a junior Wendigo, and Tiki could be missing. Like a spinning coaster.
A spinning coaster. Oh, but no, it would fit.
Okay, it would fit, something family friendly. Like we don't have all of the coasters that we have for all these areas.
Tiki's wild. Family friendly.
That's why I was thinking spinning coaster. He's wild. Tiki, you're spinning through all these bonfires and crazy tiki dances, and the coasters dancing around. You could even do it like the old school Zafor's Glacier Mountain Twist, where you had two spinning dancing coasters. So you could have them spinning around a bonfire and stuff. I think the spinning coaster is like a kind of a fun idea, but we're open to suggestions.
Spinning coaster is not a bad idea. Yeah. Put your comments down below.
But I definitely think Gulpy needs to be a junior Wendigo. It's just like this silly, we could do it in
and we don't have one yet, and we need a junior Wendigo.
We need more family rides. Period. All of these rides that are in these areas are like extreme rides. And we need some more gentle attractions for the park. So I definitely we'll plot out what we can do with Tiki, where we want to put it, and maybe we can get somebody building it in the meantime. That way we can buy ourselves another week. But I also like the idea of just making it a plot, and then we assign that to a legend or master. We'll figure that out. But that's what I'm saying is, after we're done this recording, we should definitely get in the park and at least plan some of these things out. So as soon as we have it from Chant, we just finish it, and that way we're not starting when we get it from her, we're finishing it, right?
Yeah, we take all the stuff we have planned out and then detail it and put it down.
Yeah, and just fine tune.
While all the others building, or while you're waiting for the first couple of finished plots, I can do a little bit of finishing stuff. Because, for example, what I've not done yet, what's also a little bit of a problem where I have to figure out how I want to do it, is for the Moroccan, the camel area.
Right.
I have not yet figured out how to get all the blueprints in from all the contestants, That's why you have all these blueprints in front of the Ferris wheel, because I've not yet placed them.
You don't need them all, and in fact, we didn't expect you to do that in the first place. So, but now you've gone ahead and done it for all of the other ones, and now you feel obligated to do it for this one. So,
yep,
we can probably get some up on the mountain or something. So yeah, if you want to record yourself doing that, plus I think it'd be a good idea to record placing the plots this time. That might be kind of fun.
A possibility. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Yeah.
Because then people can see how it got from like empty to where their plot was, and then that way we can showcase it, or we could just showcase have a video showcasing what the final plots are and all that, of course. So that would give us another week. So we're just trying to we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, and we're trying to make sure we have enough content where we have weekly videos. We haven't missed a week since this project went live. So it's been pretty impressive, and for the longest time we had 2 a week, and
we still have 4 to go, including this one. So
yeah. But Chance vigorously working away, and it's gonna be tight. But at this point, we don't have any more things that we can do to fill in the gaps. At this point, it's back to Project Planko, where the community gets involved, and that's where things get fun again. And at that point, I should be able to start ramping things up to 2 a week. And I think people would really enjoy that, and we're on the home stretch, right? Other than some polish at the end, and so that's pretty exciting, pretty promising. So we'll figure that part out, and we'll kind of tease it on Discord what things are going to be looking like, how many plots we're going to have, and we're going to make a final video showcasing you guys what all the plots are, what is available, and maybe we might have to delay King Ghoster area a week and then open up the plots like a week later, or maybe we get it done at the same time. We'll have to see, but it's going to be tight with the spooky area. But our plan, our original goal, and hopefully we see it through, was to open up, 6 themed areas: sci-fi, fantasy, adventure, western, spooky. Is it 5? Yeah. I think it's 5, right? Yeah, it's 5.
5. Yeah, it's 5.
5 themed areas. Oh, we want to open up 5 themed areas to you guys all at once. So if we can pull that off, then it'll be much more interesting than the first time around, because we just were doing city. So you'll see, it was pretty interesting, because some episodes I would do the little China area. Some episodes would be like Italy. We did have variety, but thematic wise, the variety is going to be much cooler for the second half of this project.
Yeah, only some areas will have less plots, others have way more, like the sci-fi area. Well, yeah, let's see how it goes. I think a lot of people want to do Western, where we maybe only have 5 plots. Whenever, I don't know.
We'll see, and that's why we need to figure it out. But I will try to get more than 5. But I do like originally. I'll run it by you guys again, and since we got Batch here, Zafor wanted to do the raffle, and I think it's good to still get Zafor's ideas in, even though he's no longer with us, and that was kind of like one of his last ideas, and he always had the best ideas. So his idea was, before we had it, everybody just took everything out in the first day. It was boom, everything's gone, and people were showing up a day later going, wait, everything's taken already? And I felt like people missed out. So what we'll do is, I don't know how we're going to do it. Maybe one of the mods can help us, maybe Batch knows, but basically everybody will sign up and say what they want, and we'll have a certain amount of plots, 20 master plots, 20 legend plots, 20 builder plots, etc., etc. And if we have 40 builders that sign up, we'll pull all their names in the raffle, and 20 of the 40 get chosen, and then from there they can pick. That way it's kind of fair, I guess, and we leave it up to chance, and it's like a lottery, a raffle, and then that way everybody at least gets to put their name in the hat, and then if there's only 20 builders sign up and we have 20 builder plots, then everybody gets then it's fair. But I just wanted to make sure everyone at least gets the chance to sign up, right? For ultimate fairness. Wow, you really went crazy on that little creek. Looking at this footage, holy moly, that looked like a pain to do.
Yeah.
Wow, you should have used a river rapids. It would have been a lot thicker.
No, I just wanted a small little river in the mountains. A Bächle, how we would say in German.
But yeah, the raffle idea is good, but the one problem is once everybody's pulled, then it becomes a first come, first serve. Because, you know, say we pull, Beartastic's name out of the legend pool. Basically, he can choose what legend plot he wants, and that would be a first come, first serve basis.
The raffle is then more or less like a priority system, do I get you right? So you don't apply for a specific plot, and then the raffle starts for this plot, but you have a priority list, and the builder, the person, whoever, who got chosen first can select which plot they want, and then the second, the third, etc., etc.
I guess you could do it by, like, the priority could be by the names pulled from the raffle. I don't know how that works, though. Or if we have, like, a way of generating or pulling the names one by one by one by one. But my basic idea is just you have 40 builders sign up, and we only have 20 builder plots. The 20 that win the raffle, they get to choose what plot they want, but at that point, it's first come, first serve. Now, if there was a way to pull, give it priority, that would be good too. But the idea there is just that in the past, it was just the most active members on Discord got all of the plots right away on the first day. Yeah. And some people had to work, some people were, away, and by the time, 2 days passed and they came to pick out a plot, they were already gone. So if we leave the raffle open for like a few days, everyone gets to sign up and get their name in. We have maybe 100 people sign up, and of all different ranks, and whatever's left over we can delegate to the people that didn't get one, right? But it allows us or you control of going, this is a master plot, this is an advanced plot, this is a kind of like what we did with the hero plots. All the hero plots are expert plus, but now you can have like a bunch of little beginner plots and a bunch of bigger legend plots, and then it gives a little bit more control and choice, and then fairness. So I like the idea. Just figuring out how we're going to get that done would be the challenge. And we also need a little bit of time for that to run. And time is something we don't have a lot of if we want to not run out of videos. No. So
yeah, it's going to be rough. I need time, definitely. At least 1, 2, 3 days where I can get full into the park and get it done. Spend maybe additional 20 hours, but I cannot promise that I can do it. So maybe I need, instead of 2 or 3 days, I need 5 to 7 days. I don't know yet. Let's see how it is.
Yeah, and then we run the raffle, then we draw the names, then everybody picks their plots, and then everybody gets building. And then we have a video showcasing all of the plots, right? So that video will come out, the raffle will start, and then a week after that, we might have some to showcase. And if not, we can...
Here's also something, sorry to interrupt you, but maybe the raffle as a live YouTube stream? Maybe? Just an idea?
That might get chaotic because...
maybe? I don't know.
We would have to have all the names in that raffle.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, so we would have to have the final list, but it's a possibility for sure. I think it would be kind of fun for people to tune into. Yeah, it's just an idea. I mean, what we are doing is not only podcasting, we're already brainstorming a little bit how we proceed with everything, as you see. Yeah, it's a scrum. This is what I call a scrum. We just meet up, we talk about how we're going to do things, and then you guys have the opportunity to give your thoughts in the comments below before a month's time passes, and and we have to just go with whatever we think is best. So it's a good opportunity to get all the thoughts out while, seeing some fun speed builds in the background. We could talk about what you're doing, but it's pretty self-explanatory, and it's fun background footage.
The German area building where everybody wants to see. But yeah, I put a lot of effort in this area. So yeah, have fun watching it while we discuss.
So we have a few things because we're at 25 minutes. This is about an hour. So let's go through some of our talking points here. So we talked a little bit about Tiki and Gulpy, so we can probably pass on that. We'll figure that out after and see what we want to do. It'll either be legend plots, or we'll ask somebody on Discord, like Bear or somebody that wants to do another coaster. That way, at least we get like a bonus video between now and then. I think that's like a good like saving grace kind of thing. So we might get one of those built by somebody.
The only thing I want to have with Tiki and Gulpy, it needs to be a blueprint to put in. Maybe with terraforming, etc., I don't care. We do that then. But I don't want to hand over the park file over and over again. That was
we're kind of retired from that idea.
Yeah. I mean, it was necessary. It was really necessary. But it also allowed the people to go super crazy on some stuff. I think the DexR not the DexR, it was the Cosmic Cow Coaster at 30,000 pieces or something like that.
Wow.
So, I reduced it a little bit. I deleted a lot of stuff and deactivated some lights, etc. But it's still a lot. It looks so awesome.
And then there's others.
I cannot delete anymore, but it was a lot of pieces.
And then there's others like Missy Goods and Dex R that the creators left plots for us to fill. And originally that was the idea, but then I told them, like, just finish the ride because we don't want to,
they also didn't have the time for it, except, and they asked me then, I said, yeah, okay, we figure something out. The plot is an alternative. We can do that. Leave it to me. I create the plots then. But this time I also want to be way more strict on the plots, on the piece count, TMTK, animatronics, etc. because the park is already pretty heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Even on our computers now, it's super heavy.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to optimize a lot, and the next plots have to be pretty strict. So expect less TMTK, way less, probably none, even not the force. And then let's see. I mean, we can do some incredible builds only from vanilla pieces. So I'm confident we can do that. That's fine. But yeah, that's what I mean. We have to be a little bit more strict on it this time.
Absolutely. So speaking of the DexR, we had these massive sky plots. So you some of these rides have a lot of pieces, and then on top of that, there's like big plots. So the whole front of DexR, the boarding station, the whole DexR sci-fi area is empty. So we're going to have some really gnarly, massive plots in that area. So sci-fi is going to have a lot of love in terms of, and then you get the sky plots. There's like 8 of them. So people are going to be building, I don't know what the park count on those is going to be, like 1,000 pieces more.
No, even less. So you can do less. It's not, they look big, they are not that big. So you can do a good plot with 500 pieces there, in my opinion. Especially with space pieces. They're so huge. It's super easy to do.
People might want to do something a little bit more utopian that wouldn't use the big traditional sci-fi pieces.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, I have to figure out, maybe tinker a little bit around how many pieces a medium blueprint will be, or an undetailed blueprint, and double the pieces. I don't know. I have to check.
All right. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot, but what have you written down here? Reduce TMTK and animatronics. Okay, you just kind of went over that.
Yeah, that's the strict rules I just mentioned.
Yeah, and then well, there's also the Western. You said there's only gonna be like 5 plots. The guys have built a lot, but I think we can find some like fun little like plots that we could do around like High Noon Coaster from Zafor. We can add in like a few plots on the hills. We can add in a few. We have a train. We haven't really figured that out. We don't even know where the train is going, do we?
So, yeah, the train is also that's also something where I hope that I get the final park from Chant, that I can lay out the train.
Maybe that's something we can do for an episode after. So we get it back from Chant.
Yeah, I need the train layout to do the plots. So at least the raffle layout. I have to. Yeah, so you see the struggle.
Yes.
Yeah, that's also something. I totally forgot about the train ride. I was thinking a little bit of the train ride, what we can do around the lake, or create a Tiki Chiki Island where you only can go by train, etc. So we have a lot of possibilities that we have to figure out, because the train station is now fixed where it is, and we need some bridges to go then to the adventure area. Do we go around the whole park through tunnels, undecorated tunnels? But do we want that, or do we just want to go around the lake?
We'll take a top-down screenshot,
Let's see.
and then we'll draw some lines where I think it should go around the pirate area on the back end of the park, and then we could just have some, and then it can pull back into the fantasy area, and we can make it so it doubles backs. So basically, both the train tracks are next to each other, one going this way, one going that way. And that way, like, it just turns around in the fantasy area and then doubles back next to...
possibility, yeah.
It's best to do it that way, just because... Or you could come on the inside between all the mountains, just so it has a shorter route back. But yeah, basically it's going to be like a giant loop, and it'll either double back at times or go all the way around.
But also a possibility would be maybe a station at the spooky area as well, and go through the coasters, the decks are, and the fantasy coasters in the back, just, so do the whole park tour more or less, but don't have a station in the future area, so decks are cosmic.
It's a bit of a headache getting it to the ghost area, but we'll see. I don't think it needs to. It's the smallest area in the park, so I don't think it needs like a transport ride. It's right by the park entrance. So
it is, but it's just for the track layout that we don't need the loop. But yeah, that's something I want to experiment first, to see what fits best. I mean, we can talk about it, how it will look like, but how it really will look like, that's the point. It always looks different when you place things down, and then you see the struggle. Oh, I cannot go to side.
That does bring up a good. It does bring up a good kind of like happy accident. Because if we get the ride in before the plots, then we can make a video of that. You speed building the ride, and then us riding the ride. So, and then obviously once all of the plots are done, we ride the ride again, and we actually have scenery. So through building the train ride, we might discover a few extra plots, like on the mountainside, that we can throw in, like, oh, we could do a cute little fantasy cat cottage up here. Let's give somebody a plot up there. And it might create a couple happy accidents along the way. And we have like another video that we can showcase 4 weeks from now, which would be the train ride.
But you get my point, how important it would be to have the latest version of the park file to do all this, and don't do it. So, because this is something you cannot easily just redo it. Okay, the train you probably can blueprint and put in, but it's a pain to place, I'm sure.
Yeah, my idea for pre-plotting the plots and not like finalize them, we don't even really need to do it in game. We could just do it from a top-down screenshot. Is just to get a rough estimate, like, okay, one there, one there, like, okay, that's 10, and just we could do it in Photoshop or whatever, just to get like a rough idea, and then when you fine-tune it, you base it off that. Just so we're a little bit more prepared.
That's also possible. To just do a rough layout in a picture and then just plot it down later.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the train ride will give us an extra...
It needs a few days to do it. Or probably will give us, I don't know, maybe bridges, or I do them, I don't know yet. Some back plots with not a lot of pieces, but maybe we'll leave some backdrops, some nice houses, scenery. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, for sure. Another talking point we had was I did the High Noon coaster from Zafor. Zafor's, and it seems like we had a split in the comments. A lot of people liked the idea of just doing bluegrass, and some people really liked the I Want to Live song. And there was
it's such a beautiful song and so fitting, but I also get it why bluegrass should be on the right now. I read through the comments, and yeah, I think it's also, yeah, Xavier would have loved to see that we have fun on this coast and not
so
getting sad.
In terms of the project being Project Planko, bluegrass is a staple, and we need to have bluegrass on a coaster. And what better fitting coaster than Zafor's last coaster? And it is also Western. It is the perfect fit for bluegrass. There's nothing else in the park that would be a better fit. So I think we'll end up going with bluegrass on the coaster. It's a happy, feel-good thing. And it's a great way to remember Zafor in terms of like happy vibes. And then the we'll do the non-lyrical version of the I Want to Live, and then the obituary I wrote for him, I'll just read it off, put the instrumentals of that song playing behind my voice reading the thing, and we'll just have like a little sequencer where you could push play and or something like that, or we could just read off something right about Zafor. Maybe I'll write something new.
And we also have, to honor Zafor and stuff, we have the Memorial Park as well that's coming soon. And
yeah, that's why I didn't want to do something extravagant outside of the High Noon. Originally, you wanted to do a bunch of little plots around Project Planko and stuff, but like, Zafor, he's kind of a stubborn person. He doesn't like a lot of attention, and if he were here today, he'd be like, "Don't do all this stuff commemorating me," But then we do an entire park. So of course we wouldn't listen to him, and we do a whole park instead. So now with the Memorial Park, that I guess at the time of this recording, the Memorial Park would come out tomorrow, I believe. So you guys will see.
Isn't it 600? 600, isn't it?
Episode 600. Yeah, so if this is a Wednesday video, I did a $5.99 on a Tuesday, and 600 will be Thursday. So, Zafor Memorial Park will be out tomorrow. So Zafor will have a whole thing dedicated to him. And then for the High Noon coaster, his very last coaster, it's very important to highlight that this was his last creation and do something special. So I think by keeping it simple, basically we have his Project Planko character with him and Kirby. We put that out front, and we can have like a little speaker play me button that we say something nice. Either I use what I wrote for his obituary, or we just talk about how this was his last maybe I'll just write something new talking about this was his last coaster that he ever made. And then we can have the instrumentals of that song that everybody liked, just kind of playing behind the voiceover, and that way we get a little bit of both, something like sweet and heartening on the play button for the pre-show, and it's optional to listen to, but what we force down your throat is bluegrass. When you get on the coaster, you have to have a good time.
And you have to listen to it because it's not custom media.
Yeah, and it's a part of Planko. It's traditional, it's classic. So I think that's ultimately the route. But based off what we saw in the comments, a lot of the others, both of the other songs, they lined up kind of perfectly with the coaster, and they were very fitting. It was kind of like a happy accident how nice they worked. But you can't choose them all. But at the end of the day, this is a customizable park, so we can have the files in the media folder. So if you want to switch the song when you're visiting the park, you can do that. But, we're going to go with bluegrass, I think, at the end of the day, even though the other ones were quite fitting. So, yeah, we'll do a little memorial up front with the character that Chant drew. She Planko-fied him, which was great, and I love it. So now we have something there. Now, the rest of Western is pretty packed. But we do have a train station, so we're going to have a big, massive legend plot for that. And we're going to have some little plots sprinkled around the High Noon coaster, and a few...
And create a little city, a little Western city area. We do some smaller plots for some small Western houses that you can put down. We figure something out. At least one big plot. Two big plots. The coaster station and the train station. These are two big plots that we have. So yeah, it's way more than 5 then. With all the small, etc., and then some for the coaster as well. Not in the area of the shooting ride, but at the coaster area and at the city area, we have a lot. So maybe 10 to 20.
And a few more will pop up when you actually build the train ride. You're gonna be like, oh well, we need like a little western bridge here. We need like a little like bandit camp or something off to the side as we go from this area to the bridge, right? Put a couple little builder plots down there that are just a couple hundred pieces or whatever, and get something like that going. So there's going to be a lot, and I'm a little bit terrified that it'll be more than the 80 that we originally had, but fantasy is quite a big area. Adventure is quite a big area.
Adventure's not as big as it looks like. I mean, we will have at least one coaster in this area. That takes a lot of space. We have the coaster station, the back where the volcano, or in between the two volcanoes, or the temple and the volcano, there are no plots. Even if there are some signs for plots, no plots there in this area. This will be mountain and stuff and foliage and whatever. So it's a little bit smaller than it looks at first, but it's still a huge area. And the fantasy area also gets a little bit smaller because I need some space for the transition between Morocco and fantasy to put down some blueprints there and get the transition. And yeah, so it will get a little bit smaller, but still these two areas are pretty huge. And then we have maybe a Tiki Chiki island, or we put Tiki Chiki in the adventure area. Then the adventure area suddenly gets very small when we already have two coasters there. Yeah, exactly. So then it's a pretty small area when we have it filled with two coasters.
But with fantasy, we definitely want to get as many like crazy little fantasy builds in there. Castles and different things, and we have a big that will probably be 4,000 piece Princess Coaster Station and Missy Coaster Station.
No. we need to reduce it.
But they need to be awesome.
They will be awesome, but they also will be awesome with 2,000 to 3,000 pieces. People need to learn a little bit how to build efficient.
That's true, but at the end of the day, the park is already lagging, and we might as well get it done right, even if I have to cheat engine in the end. But
I also already was thinking about that. We do the coasters and cheat engine at the end. Yeah, I mean, we can still walk around with 15 to 20 frames in the park, but maybe it's not the best experience for the rides. But when we then have the rides or the coasters available as cheat engine videos, I think that's fine. That's a great spotlight then at the end.
Yeah, and I mean, like, what was that giant castle park, the German one that I did recently?
German one? Ordensburg from K Illuminat, yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably like one of the most crammed parks I've ever seen. And I didn't use cheat engine for that, and it was still fine. And I recently rode the Missy and Princess coasters without cheat engine, and they ran pretty good.
Yeah, it's still okay. I'm just worried about the future version.
Yeah, so like for a final presentation,
the current version is fine. I could do, when I got it back with the shooting ride, I could do easily the shooting ride and hit most of the targets, not all, or maybe the wrong targets. You will see what I mean. But it was possibly easy to ride for me. So it's the same for you, since your computer matches mine pretty well.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse for sure. But at the end of the day, like if I were to stream, I can't like do for a final presentation. I will do like a park spotlight presentation. But
that's what I mean.
I think it's good to.
The park. It's still a pretty good experience to walk around the park. It looks smooth. But the coasters, to have it in the final park
at the end,
with cheat engine would be the little extra.
We're gonna have to do two presentations in the end, though. Like one with cheat engine that's more of a presentation, and then like a stream, because I feel like this is a park where it's hard for me to like. I can walk around and comment on things, but I think it's good to do a park spotlight where I walk around, talk about the rides, go on the queues, go on the rides, and do it like a standard 1 to 2 hour park spotlight. And then when I ride the rides, that's when we would get the cheat engine video. But I think there needs to be a park spotlight stream where everybody gets to, you know, kind of backseat gamer on me and say like, oh, like, because like that's my creation. Everyone wants to talk and everyone wants their
That's
moment.
a nice idea. So really, instead of a more spotlight will be done, of course, but afterwards with the cheat engine videos. But the final release of the park is then a stream. That's a great idea, in my opinion.
Yeah, because everybody wants
not
to.
Everybody agrees, but I like the idea. I really like.
Everyone wants to be in chat to say something. I can read what they have to say, and by the time you start reading people's comments, and then like, you know, so and so wants to see this, or somebody wants to comment on that, it'll end up being a lot longer than 2 hours for sure. So,
yeah, for sure.
We could do.
That's something you can then rewatch the live stream on YouTube. I think you will stream on YouTube again, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I have been doing it with. I haven't tested PlanCo, but for whatever reason in the past, when I recorded or used OBS to stream or even record PlanCo, it would have a complete meltdown, and like it would go like FPS drops to like -10 and CPU usage would jump up, and like even though my CPU was at like, I don't know, 20% load or something on OBS, it would still just choke for some reason. And
okay, but this that should be gone with the current system now.
But I haven't tested
I mean, you could yeah, I know, but you have streamed Starfield and that was running pretty good.
And I have recorded PlanCo. It's weird because the recording software never really eats up your resources that much, and I never knew why it was choking with only PlanCo on my old computer. Only I could stream other stuff just fine, but basically back then we had a screen share and have one person stream it and then the other person record it. So or I had to stream it and the other person had to run PlanCo. So the resources were split between two computers. It was basically like a stream PC setup.
Yeah.
And it was a hot mess. So this time around I should be hopefully be fine. And with that being said, we can do more streams. I definitely want to stream Candyland at some point because that's another community project that everyone wants to get their thoughts on.
Do Candyland as a test stream. When Candyland works,
yeah, if everything goes wrong, that's fine. Well.
Yeah, exactly. Do Candyland as a test stream. It would be a fun stream.
Well, we could do them back to back.
Really good test. Yeah.
We could start the day with Candyland and then go over to Project Planko. And just have a
6 hour stream at least.
Yeah, or Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, maybe the better idea. Yeah. Oh, the video's coming to an end. I think.
No, we got 12 minutes. We got 12 minutes.
Still, what do I do in this? To make. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Okay, there will still be. I have to do a little bit more. Mexican area, etc. I haven't done stuff yet. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, well, I guess the train ride is going to be an extra video that we're going to have that we didn't consider. I can't think of anything else unless we add in a tiki coaster.
Train rides and plots, and I don't think I do the coasters. I could, but probably better not, because community project, I do all the other stuff. That's more than enough what I do. So but yeah, maybe we reach out to the community for two coasters.
So what I think we should do when I showcase the plots, we'll get it from Chan. We'll get the plots in. I'll make a video on that. We'll talk about it. That'll be the video where, you know, everybody sees it and goes, okay, the plots are open. They can go on Discord. They can join the raffle. They can do all that. They see how many fantasy plots there are, how many adventure plots there are, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And we have that all as the video that follows up the week after the King Ghoster Dark Carnival. Then, because we're not going to have the plots in and designed and ready to go only 7 days later with me recording and editing and having that done. We need another week. we could squeeze in the train ride speed build after.
Yeah.
And then after that, then it's plots. And based off how many I get, how many are coming in, and how much time I record them all, at that point I'll make the decision to go from 1 a week to 2 a week if I have enough videos. And if I have enough time and have those videos made, so that we can go back to like Wednesday, Sunday, and just, you know, back to blueprint spotlights. And I think that's a good
depends
plan.
a little bit how many come in, but when it's like the last time, there will be a lot.
Yeah.
But,
and I have a feeling there's going to be more than 82. But we'll see. Because I mean, if there's 5 areas and there's even 20 plots for each, that's already 100. And
it was a lot of baby plots, so a little bit smaller plots than, let's call it baby plots.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a lot of plots. Maybe we can even.
But that's a good thing. Like that's like it's good news. We'll see. It's good news for the community, bad news for our frame rate. But
that's what I go back to this time. It will be way more strict than the last time, guys. But yeah, I'm looking forward to
at the end of the day. We have
awesome.
We have computers good enough to showcase the park. Everyone will get to see the park. We have Cheat Engine as an alternate thing, and at the at the end of the day, regardless of piece count, we weren't trying to make a super optimized park. We were trying to make one of the biggest parks that this game has ever seen. And
I mean, I don't think this park will hit Aldamora or Galchian Super Saiyan performance. So I'm confident that we are still good, but I still have to worry a little bit about it and have to make some measurements that we don't run into to get worse than these 2 parks, and then we are fine.
Park count wise, it's not the heaviest park that PlanCoaster's ever seen, but content wise, it's the best because, you know, it showcases every single thing that's in PlanCoaster, from World's Fair to every single themed theme, from pirate, fantasy,
everything,
every single pack, every single build style, every single piece that you could build in PlanCoaster exists in this park. It's basically the ultimate showcase of PlanCoaster, hence the reason Project Planko. So I think at the end of the day, it's a very good way to represent, you know, PlanCoaster as a whole and what you can do with it. So, and then the fact that the game is such a community heavy game, everybody got to participate, or everybody had a chance to participate. And with the raffle, we will increase that. So everybody gets to say that everybody that's been around in this kind of era, still playing the game, they had their opportunity to jump in and get their hands on something, which is great. I don't know if we're gonna make it for November 17th, the 7-year anniversary, because that's only like a month and a half away. But we tried.
Not when,
We tried.
We tried. It's still possible, but no, it's not possible.
I don't think it's possible. I'm gonna have to give up on that.
It would only. Yeah, it would have been possible if we got the park file back last week or so, then maybe. But it's fine.
No, because there's still
a nice Christmas project.
Unless the only way it would be possible is if I ended up like, let's just say I get all of the blueprints in from people, and I decide to break them up into like 3, 4, 5 an episode. It's still gonna be like 10 or 20 episodes. So unless I started releasing like 4 a week, we would never finish on time.
It's not only this. I mean, you see in the speed builder how much work there is in between.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Between the presentation videos,
also it's not possible.
Yeah, like the cheat engine videos, the presentation, the park spotlight, the polish that you have to do, the amount of blueprint episodes I would have to make. And I tell you, like, I was getting really ahead on the videos back then, but I was putting... These videos take a long time to make. Sometimes I'd be working for several days just to get 2 episodes out. And just like placing it all, fixing things, and recording it, and then talking over it after. It's a lot. So, you know, if I were to do like more than 2 a week, I would, it would definitely burn me out. So we're just gonna have to go with like 2 a week and see where the project ends. And if we finish a little bit ahead of time, I can maybe consider like shuffling things a little bit to 3 a week. So that, like, if I'm done and the park's ready to be showcased to everyone, I'll speed up how many videos come out every week, right? But
yeah, and if not, two per week is also pretty good pace.
Yeah, I definitely want to build back up to that and just replace one of the coaster or park spotlights. But I've ramped up to like 7 a week lately, which is kind of crazy. And I can definitely just swap something out in the meantime. And then we can have Wednesday and Sunday again. So
yeah, I mean, at the moment you have 2 park spotlights, a lot of bonus videos, all these special coaster spotlights and stuff, and all.
Yeah, just to give it everyone and you an idea of what was happening is I tried the 4K POV Best Coasters of All Time series, and we started with Galcian. And Galcian, I showcased all his stuff. But to like kick off the series, I was doing more a week than I plan to do going forward. Right now, I am recording some more 4K POV reshade coasters from the past, but I only plan to show them off, I think it's every Friday or every Sunday, something like that. So it'll be one a week from now on, and I've decided I want to try to go from 2 parks a week to 3. I don't know how long I'm going to maintain that. So the parks will be eventually, if I get the schedule down, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Then the coaster POVs will be either Friday or Sunday, and that gives us 4 a week. And then I'm going to do Project Planko on Wednesdays still, so that's 5. And then I put in 2 coaster spotlights for the filler, which would be like Tuesday and Sunday or whatever. And then when we ramp up to 2 Project Planko a week, I either remove 1 park spotlight or 1 coaster spotlight. So it's a lot. It's a lot on my plate. Plus, we're still doing Baldur's Gate. I had to cut back on the Starfield streams and playing Starfield altogether. Although I did start playing Cyberpunk, and that's really, really fun. But yeah, I got my hands full, and I'll have a little bit more time again eventually to have a life once we're done Baldur's Gate and Project Planko. So into the meantime, it's just like Project Planko, Baldur's Gate, park spotlights, coaster spotlights, and just go. Lots of Planet Coaster. So hopefully everybody enjoys the daily content again, and it's been a lot. It's been great, but it's all in like 4K, and it's been pretty. Feels like the game's new again to me. So I've been I haven't burnt out on it yet because I'm having a lot of fun seeing all this stuff in the new glorious 4K.
Yay! Yeah, okay. But yeah, it's nice to see that you have your fun back into the game, and you feel it in the videos. Yeah, you talked a little bit too much about the new system.
Yeah, I read the comments.
Me too.
I got excited. You know, I can't.
But that's the positive thing about it. You got so excited about it, but yeah, the talking about the system is
I've
one
stopped.
kind
I've stopped.
But he's back on the excitement on Planet Coaster. That's something nice to see, in my opinion. He stops talking now about the system, but the excitement for Planet Coaster stays. I think that's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a good trade-off. Yeah. I get a ramble about something when I get excited. Oh, you got the tilting heads in there. I thought that was great how you did that. I wanted to ask you, did you build those basic shapes in Blender? Because they look.
No, it's. I rebuilt it in Blender. So I downloaded TMTK measurements. So I don't know, lineal. Sorry.
But those aren't the objects from Planet Coaster. You just kind of copied.
No. This is a TMTK, and I couldn't copy anything into Blender.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
These box cats or box kittens took a lot of time to build in Blender. A lot of time.
Yeah, you made it look like they were built in Planet Coaster, which was cool.
Yeah, it's more, I would say, 95% exact copy of the original box kittens.
Yeah, no, I was wondering if there was a way.
Of effort into it. Yeah.
I was wondering if there was a way to like take a Planet Coaster build and export it as like an FBX, but
no, that's not possible.
No. Okay, we got a minute to wrap up, Batch. Is there anything you want to say in the next 60 seconds?
I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted. Touche.
Yeah, no. It's so much fun, everything to do. And what I love personally on this project is the on and off. Usually when I personally build a park, I go full in. I mean, you saw it when I got the Zafor Park, the Zafor Memorial Park from Birdtastic. I went full in and I delivered in time. And I think it looks amazing, even if you miss a little bit here and there, but still great effort. But this was 50 hours in 3 to 4 days. I went full in, and that's what I usually do when I build something in Planet Coaster. I fully focus then on this project, and here I'm forced to leave it alone, to hand it over to you or somebody else on something I personally like.
No, and I have to kind of add to that as well, the on and off, because like when everything got started and it was, we're gonna just have to replay this and loop it a little bit from the beginning so we can finish up the outro. A little bit extended here, but when I first started, like with all the blueprints pouring in, placing them, finagling them, because a lot of this little detailing that you guys are seeing, you saw me do that in some of the speed builds, or I would cut them. I wouldn't do a speed build, but I would I tried doing that for the first couple episodes, and then I didn't like it, so then I just jump cut. So then eventually I kind of removed that, and then people were like, bring it back, so I brought it back. But all the finagling and like the deleting things, going in there and like changing pieces or fitting things, like you have to do that for every single build, unless you get lucky and somebody did a good job. So for the first bit of this, like what you see Batch doing here, I was doing on everything, and it was like, it was extremely exhausting. And by the time passing it over to you and seeing you do it now, it's like gives me a nice break. And when I was doing it, it was full time for me. Like I wasn't doing that many park spotlights. I wasn't doing that it was all I was doing.
And for the French area, that the winner blueprint here got an update because he fixed something on it, so I fully replaced the whole blueprint. It's later you see it in the speed build. I think you haven't recognized it, but yeah. You have to do the passing and everything, and yeah, it's more work than you think, guys. Even if we work with blueprints.
Yeah, like when I was doing it,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, when I was doing it, there were no park spotlights really, and it was hard because you have to stay subscribed to everything on the project. So because I'm opening up the project every day or every other day, I would have to, like, if I were to clear my, like if I wanted to do a park spotlight that had a lot of TMTK, it would drop by like 20 FPS if I had subscribed to all these things from this project. So I would have to clear out my project and then refill it up when I was ready to do, and I was just like, screw this, I'm just going to focus on this and this only. And now it's a little bit better because, like you're working on it, and I don't have to have the project, and I can just do as many park spotlights as I can.
Yeah, I mean for Project Planko, we have the collection with all the TMTKs in where when you get the project, you just click OK, subscribe to all, and then open the park, and then it's all good. So you have all the TMTK in maybe 5 minutes. Yeah,
it's a little bit more organized now, but for me, I'm still gonna have to unsubscribe and resubscribe just to go do a park spotlight.
You have to. Yeah,
and then I have to come back to this.
So spotlights.
When it comes time for me to record these again for the second phase of Community Blueprints, I'm gonna try to do as many as I can before I have to unsubscribe and let it sit for a while, because I'm gonna have to alternate between subscribing to regular parks and then this park, and I can't have it all on my computer at once because it'll just kill the frame rate. Luckily, the new computer does digest all that a little bit better than before, so it's not the end of the world if I do like a small coaster.
A few hundreds is fine, and it especially impacts your saving, and you usually don't do a save file when you do a park spotlight, I guess. I mean, sometimes it helps, but usually not necessary.
Well, good.
But yeah,
Batch, you've been an absolute savior on this, like all the detailing, all the polish, all this fine tuning. I wouldn't be able to do all of this myself, so thank you for everything that you've done here. You know, I was able to like rough everything out and do all the bulk and get things in, but if I had to do this as well, I just I might have completely hit a wall. So to your previous point of the passing,
we
passing it
wouldn't
around.
See you for another half a year then. But yes, thanks a lot, and you're welcome.
Yeah, and so between you and then passing around to all the other builders, everybody's gotten to give everybody a break, and I think the workload has been spread out quite nicely and.
Mostly we had some issues. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. You know what I mean. I'm still sorry. But somebody had to be the one with the biggest park file to put it in. Maybe it wasn't the best idea for the shooting, right? But that is what it is, and I'm sorry. Okay.
It's all good, man. It's all good. All right, so there you guys go. That's a little podcast from me and Batch just talking about the project, the plans going forward. You guys, we try to be as transparent with you guys as possible. So now you kind of know what to expect in the coming weeks for Project Planko every Wednesday. And like I said, there might come a time like at the end of October, beginning of November, where we just don't have a video for you guys for a week, but we're going to do our very best. Like I said, the train ride's a good backup plan. The actual like launching and showcasing you guys the plots, but at this point we have everything that we wanted to show you guys in this project shown to you guys, other than the shooting ride, the King Ghoster ride, and what am I missing? And the show. So we have 3 things left to show you, and from there it's all what we need to show you guys what you guys made. It's your turn to contribute to the park again.
Yep.
And I have to make content on that. So there's going to be this weird spot of what are you guys building? Batch, let's figure this out. And then now your guys are building it. How are we going to do it? How do we do the raffle? And then me placing it, finagling it in, making an episode of it, publishing it, and getting it out to you guys. And we have to do all of that in a short, like 1 to 2 week span. It's absolute chaos. So it's going to be crazy come the end of October, beginning of November for both Batch and I. But we're going to do our best to make sure that there's no hiccups. And if there is a slight delay in the project, we miss a Wednesday or something, you guys know why. And we gave you a heads up. But we're going to try to do our best that doesn't happen. We don't want to miss a single week of Project Planko. And we haven't yet. So here's to hoping we get it done and we don't miss a week, and we can eventually hopefully get you guys back up to 2 or 3 a week as we go to the home stretch. So
yep,
there you guys go. Fingers crossed. All right, so that's everything that we wanted to talk about in this episode. We'll see you guys next week for the shooting ride, Miss Ellie's shooting ride, and then all the other stuff that I mentioned to follow. All right, thank you for joining me here today, Batch.
You're welcome, and thanks a lot for having me here.
Absolutely, anytime. And we'll see you in the next one where we talk about the train ride and the plots.
Oh yeah, looking forward to it.
All right.
And especially what we will get from the new blueprints. But no, we should stop talking. Bye, guys.
Bye now.